We're going to do a live unboxing of the Vision Pro. Is one box that I do not have here. All right, so a lot of y'all want to know what $4,600 looks like, right? Early adopter, first one with it. And I got a couple boxes here. This box I'm assuming is that box I'm assuming is the case for it. All right, so let's do this. It's a little tab right here. We're just gonna pull that. And Apple does really, really well with its boxes. With its packaging, however they choose to engineer this stuff. Ooh, okay, so let me revise it. Because it looks like it's supposed to, I don't know if this is supposed to be up or down. So let me flip that around. It looks like maybe it's supposed to go like that. Let's do that. Let's point that down a little bit. Now, some of you may be wondering, Anton, why did you spend $4,600? Why did you spend $4,600 for this thing when they only advertising it for $3,500? Well, one of the reasons why I spent $4,600 is because you can basically option it up. I think that the storage in this device, the initial storage might have been 256, then it was 512, and then you can get basically 1 terabyte. I opted for the 1 terabyte, which costs significantly more. I also got the carrying case for it, so that costs a lot more. And I got the prescription lenses for mine. So I had to upload my prescription lenses. Those are going to come later because I uploaded my prescriptions late. So you can basically pop those into this device. And then you got prescription glasses because it allows for you to see everything that's around you the same way that you're seeing it without having the goggles on, okay? So we're going to pop this open. All right, looks like we got a little bit of spot right here that we got to pop open. Yep. And we got one on the other side right here. All right. Ooh. So this is what it looks like. All right. I'm guessing that's a cover, right here. And this is the back of it. So you got this right here. All right. This turns like that. These are speakers, I believe, right here. Right here and right here. And then this protects the front of it, the actual goggles themselves. And then this is like a stretchable knit band right here. All right. You see if there's anything else in this box. This is a very, very big box just to have that on top of it. All right. So inside of it, let me spin this around real quick so y'all can see this. Make sure we look at this right. So inside of it, I have this, which I'm guessing this is like all of the paperwork and the documentation and everything like that. Yeah, so it gives you all of the instructions. But you know who we are. We black people. We don't necessarily read the instructions. We just start playing with it and we figure it out from there. We may read the instructions later if we trying to figure something out, or we'll just Google it or put it in YouTube, right? So that's that. And then you have the dual loop band. All right, so the dual loop band, let's do this, pop that open. So this is the dual loop band, all right? So the dual loop band actually attaches to the goggles. So I'm guessing that if it gets a little bit too heavy, or if you want to have it across the top and you don't just want to have it across the back, so it'll actually go on top of it like this, okay? So that's the dual loop band. And looks like we have a charger right here. So let me just show you what it looks like. This is what's in here. All right. So this is the battery. This is really heavy. This is like all metal. I don't know if this is aluminum. I don't know what this is, but this is really heavy. And you got the charger right here, the charging cable. And then you got that right there. And I don't know what's in here. Looks like more. Oh, this is a polishing cloth. What else is in here? It's like a polishing cloth. So a lot of times, a lot of people like to use a regular rag or Windex. You don't necessarily want to use that. You want to get you a polishing cloth in order to clean off your screen and stuff like that. Just put that right there. And then they say that this is a light seal cushion. Okay, so I'm guessing that this goes in the inside of. So this goes in the inside of the goggles. And it's a seal cushion that goes in the inside back here, I'm guessing. All right. Put a lot of this down. Am I missing anything? That. Vision Pro. Directions. All right. So before I do that, let me open up this other box. So let me set this to the side real quick. So this other box is just a regular box. This ain't no unique box. So you just open and pop this open, I'm guessing. I wonder how many of these went out today. Because I hear some people that's getting theirs later because they ordered it later. I ordered mine on the first day that it was available. Whenever I feel resistance, I feel like I'm opening it up the wrong way. This is the travel case. It's actually relatively big. So this is the travel case. Let me make sure that I can see all comments. It's a really large travel case. If I was at the studio, I had better cameras for y'all to actually see what's going on, but I don't even know how to open this thing. I don't want to break it. All right, so this is the travel case. This thing is expensive too. But I mean, if you're gonna go ahead and start spending a whole bunch of money as far as like almost $4,000 for this junk, I'm guessing that this is for. I don't know what this is for. If you're gonna go ahead and start spending $4,000, so this obviously is for the battery right here. I don't know, but if you're gonna spend $4,000, then you might as well ball out and spend that money. So let me take these off really quickly. Now I will say also that I am live streaming this on an iPhone. So you are seeing me on an iPhone, all right? So this is what the inside of it looks like. I'm guessing that they gave you an extra one of these because there's one already here. So just in case this ever wears out, you got an extra one here. Thank you, Apple. All right, so this little thing right here, this right here, this actually twists to make this tighter on your head. Let me pull this off. So it's a bunch of cameras inside of here that's supposedly inside of this thing. And this snaps in and out, right? So let me take this apart really quickly and show you what this is like. Put my glasses back on real quick. So this snaps in and out right here. You can see the magnets. See the little magnets, and you can see the little inserts right there. And it just pops in. And it just pops in like that. And so you can take this off. Well, I took the whole thing off. Hold on 1 second. All right, so I could take this off right here if I wanted to, but I'm gonna pop out this whole part. This whole part right here, you can pop this off. And then you can just have the eyes part right here. So I'm gonna pop this back on real quick. Now I'm about to tighten this up. It's tightening up against my head. It actually feels really good. See the back of my head? But I don't see anything yet. How do you turn this on? And see, this is why you're supposed to read the directions. Oh, I guess you got to plug it up and charge it. So let me see if I can pop this on. And then we'll move over to the next thing. So my initial impression of it is that, and this is what pops onto the charger. And so that's the charger right there. Right here. Oh, I got to take the front cover off. See, that's why I need the chat, because I'm a C student. All right, let me take the front cover off. Ooh, I look like, you see the cameras on this thing? So look. See all of the cameras in the inside? It's a camera right there, 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 and a camera right there. And all of those face the outside. So it's a bunch of cameras that actually come and looking at you. And then it's a bunch of cameras that also look on the outside that allows for me to actually see what's going on the outside. So ideally, what these things are doing, and I can see all of the vents at the top of it and stuff like that. And obviously, this is a power button right here, and this is a button that is probably a home button, and you can actually zoom back in. So the idea behind these is that when you're looking through these goggles, you're not actually seeing through the goggles what you see on the outside. What you're seeing through the goggles is what's being projected to you by the cameras, but because the refresh rate is so high, it looks like, and sometimes it even is better than what you're seeing in real life. So it's like an augmented reality slash virtual reality thing that's all in one thing that just gives you this most ideal experience, right? And so it's really, really tripped out to see how this is working. But I'm going to plug it up. Well, let me put it on first and see if it just cuts on its own. Hold on. So I had to unloosen it a little bit, and now I'm plugging it back up. So that's what we look like. You know what I feel like I look like? I don't know if y'all ever seen Aquaman, and that bug from Aquaman was already on there. Let's see if I can cut this on. I don't know what the power button is. All right, so let me do it like this. I'm going to plug it up and see if I can cut it on. Let me undo this. That bug man, that water bug man from Aquaman. I guess this goes in your back pocket, or maybe you can get a holder for it. So I'm going to plug this up. Lots of cords. And I always prefer to be the early adopter of this stuff because I already believe that regardless of whether or not people agree with it or whether or not people like it or whether or not people are going to spend with it, and what I think that Apple is going to wind up doing, I think that Apple is going to wind up, obviously, as they drive down the cost of it and the adoption of it and people continue to make stuff from it. You can see the Apple logo on there. I can see that it's starting to charge. As people adopt it and they become early adopters of it, we'll put it right here. This feels really good. I don't know how you put this on. As people become early adopters of this thing, I think that they'll drive the cost down and then they're going to start to roll this out to the general public. Oh, okay, there we go. All right, so you just pop it in like this. So I grab it. I am so clumsy and messy. So you pop it in, and then you just turn it, and now it's starting to charge. So now let me pop this in. How do I put it on like that? All right. Let's see if it'll work. Ah! So I have to press this, press and hold this to align. This is sick. I'm looking at it. I can see you guys right now. I'm literally looking at you guys right now. It's drawing the hello, and I can see the hello around me, and everything stays stationary. So now I got to press the digital crown. This is insane, bro. Bring an iPhone or an iPad near to get started. I don't want to do this yet. So I'm going to set this up manually later. And then eventually you'll be able to see my eyes through it. And then I got to figure out the use cases for it. Because you know me. The one thing about me is I'm going to figure out how to get the money from it, right? And then I can see Setup Vision Pro on my iPhone right there. So I'll set it up, bro. It's crazy. This look crazy. So I'm going to let that charge. Because I heard it got like a 2 or 3 hour charge time or a 3-hour battery life for it. So I'm going to let that charge, and then by the time I get done with the Millionaire Morning Show, I'll be able to take y'all through this and figure out exactly what this is. It's messy in here now. I got stuff all over the place. So I look like one of the minions. But what I do think that this thing will be is I think that this will be the complete replacement of your phone. I think that the phone is going to be an accessory to these because it's so futuristic and it's so powerful. So one of the things, and I've been researching this before I got to it, so that's how I kind of know about it. But one of the things about this that you'll be able to do is basically you'll be able to replace your monitors with it. So the way that people are using it already, and I was looking at MKBHD or so whatever his name is, Marquise Brownlee, and what it allows for you to do is to see everything around you. And it's a couple different use cases that I've seen people put it through its paces in already. So one of the things that Dave did was you don't have any controllers. It's all soon wherever your eyes look, you pinch and you expand it, or you just do like this to select or whatever, right? You just do like that. You don't have to do any controllers. It's much different than the Meta Quest 3 or the Meta Quest Pro. And then on top of that, you can expand your work screen. And when you're editing or you're doing whatever it is that you're doing, it gives you like a huge wide view of whatever it is. So in addition to being a media controller, it allows for you to have a better, bigger workspace for you to be a lot more productive. And then on top of that, I seen a woman was using it and she was doing a review of it and she was actually interacting with the things that was around her and she was cooking with it. So she was getting different recipes, throwing it up on a screen. She was putting timers over certain things that was on a pot that was able to remind her when certain things need to be flipped or turned over. And then she was also going through her cookbook all while she had the goggles on and still being able to see everything that was interacting around her. So if anybody has ever seen Ready Gamer 1 or any of those things, this is, I believe, the first step and the most productive step. There's a lot of developers that couldn't wait to get their hands on these things so they can start developing applications for it. I'm also going to be an early tester, and it's one of the things that I'm going to use as far as starting to determine whether or not we need to use these things in order to develop better applications for where it is that I'm doing my job at, the banking industry. And so it's a lot of use cases. A lot of people look at these things and they'll say, oh man, I'm not going to get it until, or oh man, I can't afford it. For me, I look at everything from a financial and a business perspective. So I'm looking at it, how can we make money from it? How can we innovate from it? How can we be the first ones to the market with some of the products that we feel like is going to be the most innovative, which then allows for you to be able to make all of the money and be the early adopter and also the evangelist for it. So you're the person that's basically promoting it and highlighting the uses of it, the cases where it could be bad for you, the cases where it could be good for you. I'm looking at it from a business perspective. So for me, this is an investment for what the rest of the community and for the rest of the people are going to eventually be adopting and using in some capacity or shape or form, whether it's 5 years from now, 3 years from now, 10 years from now, or whatever. But I want to be the one that's at the forefront of making the money from it, not just the person that's adopting it from a casual use. I don't care about the casual use of it. I'm trying to figure out how I can make my work life better, how we can leverage it in corporate America, how we can develop and put together applications for it. I already bought 2 more, and I'm actually sending them over to a couple of different developers that work for me here in Michigan so they can figure out what the use cases are for it. So we'll be using these things, and we'll be trying to figure out how we can leverage it in order to create a better experience for most people. And that's what you should be doing if you're a part of the Millionaire Morning Show. You shouldn't just be looking at it and saying, oh man, this is just it, whatever. I don't know if people are going to adopt it. This is a $4,600 investment. I don't mind spending the money because it's a business. It's absolutely a business. We're going to write this off 100%. And we're going to have a good time while we're doing it. And we're going to figure out, we're going to live with it. And then I'm going to give you guys an update even more on it of how it is that we can leverage this in order to continue to get to the money. All right. So that is your official unboxing of the Apple Vision Pro in real life from a real person and not one of these people that get an early version of it because they so important and they cooler than me. All right. So let me spin this back around. Shout out to Black Mirror. Have y'all ever seen Black Mirror on Netflix? Go and watch Black Mirror. That's what we in. That's the era that we in. We in the Black Mirror era. All right. All right. Let me make sure I put this down. I don't want to damage my $4,600 device. I do got Apple Care on it, so if I mess it up, I can get another one. But I just want to be able to put it through its paces. I paid $4,600. It's $3,500 on the Apple website. I believe you can also go into the Apple Store and try it out for yourself starting today. So it is what it is. I'll keep you guys updated on what's going on out in these streets.